Hey everyone, it's Craig again, back with another update. I know this one's probably a little bit faster than some of my other updates, but I did want to share some really good news. We received word today that my tissue for the clinical trial passed and my blood test passed. So I am officially in the clinical trial with the new drug from the sponsor. So just thank you for all the prayers and well wishes that have been coming from everybody. We really wanted to be here. We still don't know whether I'll actually get the drug or a placebo, but everything keeps working in the right direction. So I'm optimistic that I'll actually get the drug. I start my chemo on the 14th, which is Thursday. Unfortunately, I won't be able to have the new drug in place on Thursday because there's some protocol that I need to do to set some baselines for the sponsor of the drug trial. One is to complete a CT exam, which I did on Friday. And if you remember that in some of my previous talks, I was having trouble getting the CT approved by our insurance company. But luckily, now that I'm part of the trial, the sponsor company actually paid for my CT exam. So I didn't have to push that through the insurance company, which was wonderful. The other thing that they do require, because one of the side effects is some dry eyes and stuff, is they require a baseline ophthalmology exam. And so that's going to be my next step. And hopefully we'll get that taken care of here in the next week or two. And then I'll have everything that I need to be able to start adding the trial drug to my chemotherapy and immunotherapy regimen and be able to start receiving that and hopefully use that to start fighting the cancer. So really excited. This first round will just be the chemotherapy and immunotherapy. I'm told I'll be in the hospital or in the transfusion center, I think it's called, or infusion center for most of the day, probably 6 hours or so, since it's my first time. All of the immunotherapy needs to be delivered while I'm in the infusion center. And then the chemotherapy, I'll receive a pump that will continually pump that through me for all day Thursday and Friday. And I'll have to go back on Saturday and have the pump removed. But we're excited to finally get started. I do have to say that there is a kind of a new level of anxiety. We've gone through all of this planning. We've done testing to get a diagnosis. We got the diagnosis and we put together the treatment plan. And now we're starting to execute the treatment plan. And I'd be lying if I didn't say that, your mind goes to the fact that what if this treatment plan doesn't work, right? We have the best technology and we have the best examples, but there's always the fact that it may not work for everybody. So it's become a little bit more real, a little bit more emotional for me. I'm still optimistic, but I think as a cancer patient, it's okay for us to go and allow ourselves to go to these dark places. I think what we can't do is just simply dwell there. So we need to think through those thoughts. We need to understand what the possibilities are. But then we need to pull ourselves out and focus on the positive, because I do believe that positive energy is what's going to help us pull through and help the body heal itself, along with good nutrition and with doctors that are putting together the best treatment plan that they have available for us. So just know that it is okay to think about the worst. Just don't dwell. We just can't dwell there, right? We want to focus. But we also want to be realistic and know that, it's different for everybody. Just don't dwell in that place. Allow yourself to go there, or allow, your friend or relative who's going through it, allow them to go there, but don't let them dwell there. Help them pull them back out and remain optimistic. So for my gratitude moment on this one, I would like to give a shout out to my broader family, particularly my parents, Don and Faye, who are in Pennsylvania. They are great prayer warriors, and they have engaged a lot of prayer warriors in their church and their community that are praying for us. And I truly believe that the things that are happening, the progress we're making, the speed at which things are happening, is all because I have people praying for me and for my family. And so I really appreciate my parents for having that group of friends that they've pulled on and relied on to help pray for us. And the second group would be for my brother and sister-in-law, Scott and Jennifer. Jennifer's a nurse, and so she kind of knows what cancer patients go through. And they put together a wonderful care package of things that I might need or things that can help me get through these treatments a little bit better. So it was just wonderful to kind of receive that package in the mail, open it up and see the different things that they had included to help me through this part of my journey. And so I really appreciate my mom and my dad and my brother and sister-in-law for the way that they're continuing to support us and our family through this journey. So thank you again for joining me for this one man's gastric cancer journey. And I look forward to giving you more updates after I've started the chemotherapy.